Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining our webinar today, When and Why to Get Your Organization Accredited. In today's webinar, we'll be talking about a lot of things regarding why to get accredited, when to get accredited, and how to do that. So let's start at the beginning by giving a brief about who are we and what do we do. We are AAA, the American Accreditation Association. We are recognized internationally by the US government to provide the accreditation worldwide. We are located in Tyson's Corner in Virginia State in the US, and also we do have an international operations office in the UK and London. Currently, we are operating globally in almost 52 countries all over the globe. In AAA, what do we aiming to, or what's our strategic objectives here? We are committed in AAA to provide international accreditation that is inspiring the confidence in the quality of your products or services you are providing, and to accept from the results from the accredited organization and the protection of health, safety, and environment of the public, for sure. The second thing is that we promote the acceptance of the accredited results and certificates internationally and amongst the global partners. Also, we continue to strengthen our operations teams, developing the capacity and the capability to exceed the expectations of our customers and stakeholders to deliver the accreditation services to the highest quality and technical standards. So in AAA, what do we do, or what services do we provide? We do provide hospitals accreditation in response to the international ESCO standards, also schools accreditation for the criteria for institution programs accreditation, education as training and educational providers accreditation, also inspection bodies accreditation for ISO 17020, labs accreditation for ISO 17025, 15189, also ISO 17043. And the last thing, we do accreditation for the certification bodies accreditation, and that's based on 17021, 17024, and also 17065. But before we go to this part, we need to ask ourselves a good question. Do you know that in today's competitive landscape, how do you truly demonstrate the commitment to the quality and excellence? For sure, the accreditation is the answer. But before we do that, we need to know how will it go today in this webinar. For example, we'll start today by what is the accreditation, why to get accreditation, when to apply. We're here talking about the timing in your business life cycle and the benefits of getting accreditation. Then what are the question and answers and your next steps? Let's go to the first part about the accreditation and to know more about the accreditation. What is the accreditation definition? The definition of the accreditation is that it is the formal recognition of competence, quality, and consistency. It's granted by an independent authority to demonstrate the compliance with the standards. But also, we can say that the accreditation is the formal independent validation that an organization meets specific standards of quality, competence, and performance. So when it comes, if you need to enhance your standards, your quality, competence, and performance, you should go for the accreditation directly because that's a mark of quality to your sample and a mark of quality of your brand. But before we go to the next part, we here have to ask ourselves a very, very important question. What is the difference between getting a certification and getting an accreditation? Certification goes for the product itself, or the people working on that. But the accreditation goes for the organizations and the systems. Like, for example, a certified project manager versus an accredited lab. A certified laboratory assessor versus an accredited hospital. So the accreditation goes for the organization itself, the systems of the organizations. Also, the certification goes for people themselves and the product itself. So to get accredited, what is the framework of getting accredited? Before we answer this question, we need to keep in mind that the accreditation is not just checking boxes. So we don't just check boxes, we partner in your growth. The accreditation process overview that the application submission, documentation review, on-site or remote assessment, feedback and corrective actions to be done from your side, the accreditation decision to be made by the committee, then granting of the accreditation. Also, sometimes there is surveillance and renewal audits to be happening. So what is the process again? The application, document, assessment, feedback, decision, and granting the accreditation certificate. Before we go to this part, I need to have here like a quick poll that we can all answer. Let's launch this one to see how did you work before or you know about the accreditation. The first question is, have you worked on an accreditation for your organization before? This is a yes or no question. And the other question is a very, very short answer question that if yes, if you have already worked in that before, what are the benefits that it bring? And also if no, how do you think it will be benefiting you? Also, do you think this will affect the organization in its daily work or not? Well, we have answers here. Most of you have already worked in the accreditation. Yeah, please participate. We need your answers here. Again and again, we need your answers here to start and to know each other better way. Only 10 seconds left. Well, thank you for your answers and let's continue our webinar. So let's begin here by a very, very important question here. Why accreditation matters? Because it's an impact of the credibility and trust. You'll be gaining a good competitive advantage. The operational improvements that you'll be having for sure, the compliance and risk migration or risk management, then the market access. So when it comes to the credibility and trust, that builds the confidence with the clients and partners. Whenever you get accredited, your clients will be making sure of your quality, and that will be building the confidence with these clients and the partners. They'll be showing the commitment to the quality and security standards. And also, it's a signal for professionalism. Number two is the competitive advantage. You'll be having a unique selling proposition for sure. So it's required for tenders, contracts, it's differentiating crowded markets, and it already demonstrates reliability because that will be letting you stand out of the crowd of all the competitors to be accredited and marking your quality that you are providing the best quality in this market and in this area of organization. The operational improvements, for sure, the standardized process reduce waste. Once you standardize the processes, the waste of time, the waste of resources will be reduced automatically. So the operational improvement, because you are following the international standards, will be helping you to do that. Also, it improves the efficiency and productivity. Again, it will be supporting the continuous improvement for your organization, for your processes, and also for your vision and goals you are obtaining and achieving. The compliance and risk management as number 4, that meets the regulatory requirements, that will be reducing the liability and penalties, strengthen the internal governance, also that will be ensuring the adherence to the industry regulations and the legal requirements. So that will be migrating the risk, that will be making you in a compliance to the legal and the environmental and the governance and the internal governance to make sure that you are providing the best quality to the best customer and also complying to the legalities and regulations. Number 5 is the market access. The prerequisites for global trade is also the accreditation. To make yourself go global, you need to be accredited because the international accreditation will help you here to access all the markets. If you are already accredited internally or nationally in your country, having an international accreditation will help you to go global, will help you in your international business planning and international business access. Also, that will be required by some countries and industries to work in. And it will be enabling you to entry to new supply chains for sure. Here, when we ask ourselves why to get accredited and why the accreditation is important, we need here to know and understand when exactly should we apply for the accreditation. When exactly we could be and we have to be ready for these steps. For sure, the early growth stage, also before entering new markets, before major contracts, when scaling operations, and also when facing serenity. The early growth stage, like after providing the business model, you have to start getting your accreditation because you already understand the business model you're working on right now. Also, that will be helping you scale with the structure, the processes. Also, when accreditation aligns with your strategic goals, like the marketing expansion, the new services launch, you will be here in a good advantage based on the market. So when to apply in your early growth stage in your business cycle. If you are entering a new markets, like the certain industries and countries require accreditation for sure. Like, for example, the training and educational providers that will be requiring accreditation. The hospitals will be requiring accreditation. Also, many industries will be asking for accreditation before the country or the industry you are joining, you can join. Also, the facilities, smoother entry, as well as when it becomes a market expectation or regulatory requirement. Then, before major contracts, many RFPs require accreditation, and it also acts as a gatekeeper for opportunities. Like before signing a contract of having these services provided or having these products delivered to your customers, that's in B2B industry, and before signing the contracts, they will be asking you, are you internationally accredited? Are you internationally recognized? So many RFPs require these accreditation, and also that might be acting like a gatekeeper that's preventing you from from getting these opportunities. The maturity of operations. When your core processes are stable, documented, and consistently followed, you will be here able to get accredited. When you avoid applying during periods of significant organizational change, like the mergers, major system overhauls, you are here ready to apply for the accreditation. Also, the most important thing is that you have the resources availability that ensure the dedicated staff budget time available for this process. And also the accreditation is an investment, not just a cost. You will be investing in your organization, and the ROI of these is 25 to 35% increasement in your profits after you get accredited. The market opportunities. When there is a clear business case and the market demand, the accredited services or products, sure, here you will go for the accreditation. And to gain the first mover advantage or to respond to competitor actions. Here, in today's world, VUCA world, or the huge market or the international market we are working on, many of our competitors have already taken the advantage of being accredited internationally. So we need to come up with, or we even respond to these competitor actions, or to be the first movers to take the advantage of being the market leader here whenever we get the accreditation. The last point here is the responding to the gaps and weaknesses. If an internal audit reveals a systematic quality issue, that is, accreditation can help to rectify. Also to formalize informal quality practices. Before we go to the game, let's have another poll. Let's start. Is the accreditation a priority for your company now or in the near future? Why or why not to be ready for accreditation? Yeah, while you are having this, I have here a question in the chat. What is the RFPs? The RFP is the request for proposal. Once someone is requesting a proposal or asking your company for a proposal before the contracting part. So that's the RFPs. Thank you all for submitting your answers. Let's end up this poll and to start communicating together. Let's start with a small game and answer these parts. I need you to join me and to raise your hand so that we can open the discussion here. Like for a training company of 50 employee training firm that is providing 15 different courses within a hard competition. Large training centers in the area are internationally recognized. The discussion here is that we're suing now or delay their accreditation decision. If you need to to join me in this conversation and to join me in this discussion, you can just raise your hand. I'll be opening your mic. We can discuss these together. So what do you guys think? Yeah, we have the first one here, Abdul Jabbar. Yeah, go ahead. Hello. Just unmute your mic and start talking. You're muted.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yeah, now it's better now. You can just give us
I think as soon as... Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can.
Okay, so we should pursue it now, because as soon as we get accredited, we would have a good edge in the market, and it would give us an opportunity to organize the company about the courses, and we would know the shortcomings that we have to become the leader in that market. So I think as soon as we pursue for the accreditation, that would be better for the company who is providing the short courses or the training courses to certain industries or certain locality. That's what I want to say.
That's totally perfect. Thank you. Who has a different answer or have a criticism about this answer? Do we have anyone who needs to join us? You guys can just raise your hands and I'll be opening your mics so we can.
I think they're busy writing their emails in the chat box. That's fine. So guys, yeah.
That's a very perfect answer. Yep. In the chat, it's sent. Yep. Actually, that was a very good answer. But I was just asking here, and I wonder if you do have any other answer, any other different opinion or a criticism about this answer, you can just share it with us.
Okay, so what is the ideal answer for this question gonna be?
Well, for sure, pursuing the accreditation right now will be bringing you the advantage and the competitive advantage to be the market leader in your market, because large training centers all over your area are already accredited internally and national accreditation. So you need to go internationally to stand out of this crowd. So let's go to the next part. So what is the next step here? The next step here is that you can just send us an email, or you can just leave your email as you did here, and someone from our team will be already responding to all of your answers and inquiries about the accreditation process and how can you get the benefit out of this accreditation process. Let's go to the last part of this webinar today. What might be the challenges and the considerations that could be facing us during the accreditation processes? Sometimes people think the challenges and consideration might be the cost, the time, the internal buy-in, the continuous efforts. So the audit fee, the consultant's fee, and the training might be a little bit costly. However, the return on investment in this case will be much higher than what you have already invested in these accreditation, because the documentation, the audits, the corrective action, the ongoing surveillance costs might be like an extra cost of your organization right now. However, the analysis and the studies says that once you get accredited, your organization profits will be increasing with an average of 25 to 35% in your annual income. So that's an ROI, that's a return on investment. Also, the internal buy-in. The employees may see it an extra work, because we all know that the change people hate to do. People hate to change. People hate to change their way of thinking, the way they are providing the services, the way they are working, and the way they can do that. So the change management here is required, and you set a change management plan that will be needing strong leadership support to deliver these buy-in. The last thing is the continuous improvement, not one-time effort, the annual reviews and updates, the embedded improvement and mindset. Also in AAA, we do provide our accreditation for 3 years. That will be granted for 3 years, getting your accreditation. And at the end of this webinar, we do have key takeaways here that we need to all understand and consider. What's an accreditation? That's an independent recognition. It's a third-party accreditation that is reviewing and accrediting your organization based on the quality of the services you are providing and based on the international standards and regulations. Why to get accredited? Because the trust, the badge, the compliance, improvement, and the access to the markets. When to do that, whenever you are thinking about growth, taking market advantage, new contracts, scaling, and serenity. What are the challenges that might be facing you? Sometimes the cost, the time, the buy-in, and the ongoing efforts that we all can handle, for sure. Let me share my screen here again. Those are the accredited organizations by AAA in the different scales and the different accreditation things. So if you need to know more, like these companies in India, they are accredited for training educational providers accreditation, and this is the accreditation certificate number. For example, this is Digital Laura. Also, I believe they are for training educational providers here. We can go down here, and this is in Panama, the US, Nigeria, Italy, US, Angola, Saudi Arabia, Global Medical City. This is like hospitals accreditation, and this is the accreditation certificate number. Also, we do have like a certification bodies accreditation. See, yeah, this is certain certification body accreditation based on ISO 17021. They are accredited by AAA to provide ISO 9001 and ISO 27001 certification. And this is the accreditation certificate number and the expiration date they are accredited till now. We also have like many universities, many training providers, many The Swiss International School of Management here is already accredited by us for training educational providers. We do have Clarivate, the UK, for training educational providers. So we have a letter for data science. They are calibration laboratory for ISO 17025. Vanguard, the US, for training educational providers. We are in Virginia, US. United Arab Emirates, training educational providers. As you see, those are all of these. These type A inspection body, ISO 17020 in Brazil. So those are the different or the variation of the kind of the accreditations we are providing. So yes, we do provide accreditation for training educational providers. We do also provide accreditation for many different things. Well, yeah, thank you for just attending the webinar today. You can always send us an email on info@aaa-accreditation.org whenever you need to do that, or you can just give us a call on 571-601-2616. So thank you for your time, thank you for your effort, and thank you for attending this webinar today. I'm looking forward to hear again from you and see you again in other webinars and as accredited organizations by AAA. Thank you.